Welcome to this oracle reading. It's going to be a collective oracle reading, but it's also going to be a time where we're all going to sit together and we're going to find the parts of ourselves that are really primed and ready to come back and join us. So hello and welcome, I'm Bree. This is Soul Healing with Bree. This is going to be a timeless, shared portal and energetic session. So that means no driving or operating machinery. That means if you really want to get something out of this, I'll say beyond even like an entertainment value type of situation, then you'll not want to be doing anything else that requires your attention. Now, I'm seeing like some of you right now, kind of like doing like things like dishes, laundry. But even that, I would really scan right now. How do I ask this question? Can I be doing this and receiving soul healing at the same time? And if you get a no, pause this, hop off. I am going to put this one, I'm probably going to put this one on YouTube because what I'm feeling in the collective right now, I'm going to read the collective before I even get the cards. So I'm reading everyone that would possibly ever tune into this. If I have your permission and consent to do so, I wouldn't be reading your energy unless that was something you gave me permission to do. Okay. This is a really tricky time right now because this is what my guides are showing me. I've got the High Council of Light here today. Typically when I come and do these readings, it's the Akashic guides. And the Akashic guides are here. The Akashic guides, I'm seeing them in the Akashic records as balls of light. Thank you for the gifts. And I'm seeing these balls of light that are sort of, it's like they're stationed with each of you. So you have your Akashic guide that's in a ball of light. Today they're showing to you in a ball of light. Other days they might show to you in different things, but today they're going to show to you in a ball of light. And they're kind of like in the Akashic records of your soul. I want you to hear me with this. Those balls of light that are assisting you in this, they have access to everything that is within your soul's Akash. So as we're receiving information from the High Council of Light, they're kind of channeling through me, streaming through me information. It kind of stops in that Akashic Records part. And then the guides kind of all get together and start to gather anything that's pertinent. Okay, so the High Council of Light is sharing with me right now that a whole bunch of, they're showing me like a media tube. Okay, it's kind of funny. But they're showing me this like media tube. And they're showing me that right now, okay, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy, you guys. Okay. It reminds me of the game of telephone, and it reminds me of like, okay, it reminds me of like someone's robbing, go with me for this little channeled clairvoyance moment. But it reminds me of like, there's like a couple people robbing a bank, okay? And then there's like a couple people that just like are happenstance, like standing outside there. And like they want to grab a little bit of the money that these people are like stealing from this bank. And what I'm being shown right now is like we're going to see a lot of this where someone that doesn't necessarily like wasn't guilty but was just kind of like in the wrong place at the wrong time, like grabbing the money, and then like the actual thieves, like the ones that took the millions of dollars and these like random bystanders are taking like $50 or something. But they're showing me like the ones that like are the really guilty ones, like are kind of getting away. This is what they're showing me right now. And they're showing me that, okay, wow, this is crazy. They're showing me too with ET exposure. They're showing me ET exposure. They're showing me like basically all the underbelly of like dark government, basically. They're showing me like all this like stuff that has been known. And yeah, it's like there's sort of these parties that are in control, I'll call them. And they're like, okay, now that all this stuff is like going down this pipe, let's just shove it all down the pipe. Perfect. It's distraction, you guys. It's like, okay, well, this thing is going over here. Okay, they're not gonna see this. And this is how they've always, my guides are saying this is how they've always operated. So it's like, you know, okay, we're distracted with the E list. All right. Let's do the aliens thing in there too. Let's do this also in there too. Let's put this also in there too. Oh, and by the way, and we're going to also fabricate a whole bunch of stories that aren't even based in truth at all, but we're going to shove them down that pipe with it. This is what's happening on planet Earth right now, everybody. This is why it's really important that, yes, there's going to be the parts of you that are celebrating the disclosure, the exposure of the information, but there's also going to be parts of you that are not on point, they're not clear, and they can be easily manipulated. So while those parts of you are like, yay, finally the collective knows things, also be aware of the fact that there's going to be attempts to plant complete fictions, complete illusions, and very convincing distraction tactics. Wow. I wish you all could see in my mind's eye what they just showed me. But some of you are. Some of you are. And this really isn't a laughing matter, but it's important to talk about. Because, yeah, it's like, it's the warp speed energy again. So my guides are showing me the warp speed energy. Remember, some of this is also muddied up in soul memory. So the stuff that's like really piquing you, and it's like, whoa, it's like, why does this have an emotional impact on me? I've never experienced anything like what I'm reading, what I'm hearing, blah, 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 blah. Well, maybe you did. Maybe the reason some of this stuff does feel heavy to you is because your soul has had experience. Okay? Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, let's change the channel now. I'm going to ask them to change the channel because we're going to move to a different topic. But this topic is, I hope that you all heard me. I hope you all heard them. Because it's so much truth is being exposed at the same time as so much lies, is basically what they're trying to tell you. This is the time on Earth to develop your discernment if you haven't already. And you'll kind of be forced to. I mean, I know force is old paradigm, but if everything my guides just showed me is accurate, and typically it is, not guaranteeing that it is or saying absolutely it is, but there's going to be a lot of convincing lies that get poured through. And the thing is, like, because the collective is so entrenched right now, it's like we're laser focused as a collective is what I'm seeing. So like we're laser focused as a collective on truth. Like we really want to know the truth right now. And so the parties that are like, oh, shite, if they find out the truth, we gone, we done so, we can't do what we're doing anymore. They're just going to try to plant lies too. Okay. I'm glad I could say everything I just said without naming any of the names that they showed me because that would get me in some trouble. Okay, 379. this is what my guides are planting now. They're showing, well, we've got these 3 cards on deck. Start clairvoyanting, clairaudienting, clairsentienting, claircognizanting. Maybe you'll smell them, taste them, I don't know. But basically, tune into these cards, because what we want to do in this space isn't just say, hey, look how cool Bree's gifts are. We want to go, hey, you have these gifts. Did you know? Do you remember? So, hence, so forth, you will be tuning into this as I channel this message. So what my guides are showing me right now is meditation. Okay. Deep meditation. This is the closed eye portals where it's like you go deep within the layers of yourself. So you're like the thoughts, not there. You're not the thoughts anymore. You're also not the body anymore. You're also not the mind anymore. You're the soul. And you're doing things that are what we can classify as out of body. A lot of you in your meditation practices, you're doing out of body, especially if you're accessing the Akashic records, especially if you're time portaling. How do I say that part? Okay, so basically if you're doing anything that you're like accessing a memory, that's like time portaling. You're portaling into a time that is not now. So you're taking your light body and you're time portaling it, let's say to the past or to the future or to another time. They're showing me that in the year of 2026, we're going to have to get, this makes me uncomfortable because I really like the energy that they're talking about. This is like what I am most of my life, so what they're saying right now is going to have to change my life, and it's a little startling. But what they're saying is that we're going to have to get, it comes down to omnipresence. So we're going to have to get used to, like, we're still going to have those times, those meditations, those Akashic visits, those deep self-healings, those out-of-body experiences. Those are still going to occur. But what my guides are showing me is that is going to become more integrated. In other words, it's going to be less of I'm in a, so they're showing me like me. So I used to like go into meditations for like 3 hours, and I would like have to make sure I had 3 hours carved out, because when I would go into meditation, that's like how long I would be there. Now it's like when I go into a deep meditation, usually it's about 45 minutes. That's actually why I have my sessions timed at 45 minutes. But I can basically access out of body like very easily for 45 minutes. And what my guides are saying is it's going to be less of us like taking a full block of time and traveling out of body, and it's going to be more omnipresence, where we can be here, conscious, eyes open, and also kind of biolocating in a sense, where we're accessing a memory, a version of us, an experience, a past life, a past timeline, Atlantean timelines, Lemurian timelines, but all kind of at once, where you're not having to stop your day, stop your life to go into these deep meditative portals. It's going to be more so integrated, more so embodied, more so, they're saying much more nuanced than we are used to. Yeah, I hear that. I hear the much more nuanced than we, it can be trippy. It can be trippy, but it's, okay, so it goes along with what they were just talking about with the collective energies. What they're saying is there are times where going into those deep meditative portals are very, what's the word here? I want to say productive. It's not productive. Conducive. They're saying there's times where that is very conducive. And the energies of the fire horse, it won't be as, not saying you can't do this stuff again, okay? So it's like some of you have just started doing this stuff, and they don't want to like take you off the horse, okay? They don't want to stop you from doing those things. But they also want you to understand that you can integrate it. And it doesn't have to be so black and white of like, here's me and my deep meditative processes. Here's me in my everyday life. It's going to be more of like a blending of that. Okay. We're going to go to the cards now. Let me just stabilize that message, because that message really spoke to me. Normally the messages they share, I'm seeing all of you, and I am seeing that this spoke to all of you as well. But this one really, really spoke to me. Yeah. I kind of like sat down to channel on this very topic yesterday and it didn't really come through, and it just came through just now for us as a group. Okay. So any Claire tune-ins? Did I leave my water somewhere? I did. I left my water over there, but I have my tea here. So that will do for now. Any Claire tune-ins? As to this first card, I'm just going to rub it in a little, hello there. Feels like an animal, maybe a dragon. There's definitely a dragon in here. I can feel a definite dragon in here. Multidimensional, this is important. Number 4. Rebecca, I encourage you to ask those questions to yourself. What does it mean to you? Multiple dimensions, timelines, BU, because it's multidimensional. So when I'm channeling information, this is important. The meaning you take from it might not be the meaning someone else takes from it, or that I take from it. Meaning isn't inherent in the field. Meaning is something that we're drawing up. I got pink too, Kelly. Meaning is something that we're drawing up. My guides are saying live time. Be you. Don't even try. I have no idea what you're talking about, Rebecca. Rebecca, are you new here? Welcome to the group. Rainbow glitter. Be you. Don't even try to fit in. Don't even try. Especially this year, guys. Especially, listen, if in the past you were like, no, I had to fit in. Fine. All right, fine. That was said and done. It's done. It's done. You can't go back there and change that. But what you can do is start being yourself now. Start being yourself now. And you're multidimensional. Oh, the Claires. I named a bunch of Claires because there's lots of Claires. Some people are, no, it's important to talk about the Claires. Okay. I'm just going to briefly mention the Claire gifts. Let's see. This group is all over the place. There's like a representative of every gift in this group. Wow, that's cool. So we got to make it human because there's a lot. Some of you are new here, and so I got to make it really human. For me, clairvoyance came online first. I want to reiterate that. For me, clairvoyance came back online first. We're born with these gifts. The Claires. We're born with them. We have them as souls. They're not studied. They're not learned. They're inherent. They're innate. You don't have to work for them. You don't have to read a book on them. They're natural. I currently have all these gifts online. The newest were the smell and the taste, and those really caught me off guard because I was like already having enough with the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, the claircognizance, the clairsentience. But multidimensional. You have access to lots of dimensions. So a lot of the questions that come into this space, I feel a lot of third and fourth dimensional questions, just to be honest. I want to be real with all of you and not pander to your egos because I was just about to pander to some of your egos. I'm not going to do it. Some of the questions that come through, they're very 3D. And so if we really want to get the juice, I don't know what the juice, that's not the right word. Yeah, no, we could say juice. We can say elixirs, we can say juice. If you want to get the juice, like whatever question you're asking, you have to like ask kind of like dimensionally, like where am I asking this from? Because if you're asking it like from the 3D, you're typically asking it from fear. So let's be honest, okay? If you're asking a question and you're really asking it from a third dimensional space, it's typically from fear. It's like, I have this fear, will you validate it? Or I have this fear, can you tell me if it's true? So like I get a lot of people like DM me a lot, people like send me a lot of emails, comment a lot. And if the question's coming at me and it's from the 3D, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'll ignore it. Sometimes I'll ignore it because I don't want to feed that. Now, if someone were to like sit with that question for a couple weeks, like will I get my ex back or something like that? And then a couple weeks they kind of sit with that question and I don't answer it. And they realize like the reason that they were asking like if they were going to get their ex back, they weren't asking am I going to get my ex back? They were asking am I lovable? So it's like 3D, am I going to get my ex back? 4D, which one of us was wrong in the situation? Which one of us was the bad guy? 5D, you can see that, oh, I'm learning to love myself. That hurt me, that layer, that experience, that connection hurt me. And a little part of me is still back there in that experiencing, wondering, am I lovable? And you are lovable. And I am here to empower you. But my style of empowerment of you is that I want you to be the one to find it. I want you to be the one to discover it. So I want to lead you, guide you, but I don't want to tell you. I want you to find the answer within yourself. Always in these spaces. So in case I haven't said something to this frequency before, my goal is to sit with you while you sit with yourself. That's what I'm here to do, is to sit with you while you sit with yourself. Including when the parts of yourself that are in a stuck pattern, they're in a wound, they're in a fear, I'm going to sit with those parts too. And part of that is what's going to help them feel comfortable to come back into your field and reintegrate with you as a soul. I would say empathy is clairsentience. So clairempathy, that's fun. Empathy is like when, we talked about this yesterday. I don't know what space I offered this for, but we talked about upgrading empathy to compassion. And that's important because when you're empathic or clairsentient, you can have someone in the space that's in like a very, very strong emotion and you could mistake it for your own. I see that a lot. I did this for many years of my life without realizing it. So clairsentience isn't just feeling energy. It's like when someone's in a space, and if you have it very strong, and most of you do, I'll just break it to you. When you're in a space, like when you go to grocery stores, when you go to malls, when you go to crowded spaces, if there's a lot of emotion in that room, it could be a little debilitating to you. Bubble up. Thank you. So definitely before you go anywhere, if you're empathic, put a bubble of light around you. Some of you are more funky, more eccentric like me, and you're going to want to put lots of things. Sometimes I dress it up. Sometimes I'm like, let's put a Merkaba on. Let's put an infinity sign on. All right, let's put an oval on. Let's put an oxyhedron on. You know what? I want to do a dodecahedron today. I'm going to put one of those on. I'm going to put pink in there. What else do I want in there? I want some silver in there. I want some gold in there. I want some, you know what? I want to put some black in there. I want to put some dark navy in there. I want to put all these different colors. I want to build them into my shield, my field. That way when you go out and about, you're not feeling everyone's motion. You're still in corporate. I was there for 13 years. My Merkaba is glittery and bedazzled. Love that. Love that, iCat. Love that. I wish I had known about this in the corporate world. Wow, would that have made the corporate world more yummy? Man, oh man. Now I'm going back. Okay, get here. Get here, get here, get here, get here. I'm going to get into this moment by snapping. I don't know, I guess that's just the modality today. Lonely in the physical 3D. If you're feeling lonely in the physical 3D, start accessing the 5D in the 3D. You don't have to travel. Most of you know this, but my nose is running like crazy. Do I have a tissue? I do. Most of you know this, but the dimensions aren't different places. They're all here. They're like all stacked upon each other. They're not. So a lot of you are I have to like breathe. A lot of you are conceptualizing that dimensions are like elsewhere. They're not. They're frequency bandwidths. It's kind of like a radio station. So this is why we're talking about the multidimensional. Connecting with 5D neutrality. Neutrality. It's like, okay, so let's say you're in the moment and you're like, let me get it streamlined. You're emotionally reacting, okay, to the moment. Or you're going into a limitation story in the moment. Or you're identifying with the emotion in the moment, or you're identifying with the role or the rules you believe yourself to need to play and be in the moment. As soon as that happens, can you code it in neutrality? Just bringing it back to 0 point frequency. Just 0 point. So it's like as soon as you're identifying these things, it's not like you're like, oh, wow, all this betrayal and jealousy and hatred and rage is suddenly going to transform to a little sparkle kitty that I'm going to jump on and ride the back of into this super fun place. It's not, that hasn't worked in my experience. You guys can try that. But what we have to do is neutralize. So it's like, oh, aha. I'm having a negative emotional response to something that I've had wounding from. Stop, pause, halt in the moment. Can I become neutral with this? Can I access the 0 point frequency within this? So notice it's not, I'm going to escape this. It's not, I'm going to escape this. It's, I'm going to neutralize this. I love that I can be neutral with this. Thank you, Cheryl. That's a perfect affirmation. Because remember, it's like, is if we're in the, we talk about this as quicksand here, or ego ping pong games. We haven't talked about ego ping pong games in a while. But quicksand and ego ping pong games are this. I have this belief, you have a belief that's totally opposite of it, and now our egos are going toe-to-toe about who's right. That's an ego ping pong game. And listen, with all this illusion, delusion stuff coming through, there's going to be a lot of ego ping pong games going in the world. Don't get tripped up in them. There's going to be tons of conversations on the internet, ego ping pong games. Again and again and again. It's this way, it's that way. It's this person, it's that person. This is right. No, this is right. This is the way to fix it. 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 If we can learn to, like, everyone that's coming to the table with a solution and they feel like they're juxtaposed, if we can learn to, like, everyone's bringing a piece to the puzzle. Everyone's bringing a piece to the puzzle. Ooh, someone just cleared in the throat. I'm gonna light some sage for that throat. Someone just really cleared in the throat, like pretty significantly. Because it's recognizing it's putting down the sword. It's putting down the armor, it's putting down the sword and realizing this isn't even a battle I have to fight. This is child's play. Like, this is not for me. I don't need to do this. I don't have to play in the 3D. The 3D is crumbling. I don't have to do anything to make it crumble faster. I can observe it. There's definitely a place in the world for activists. I've talked about this before. That's not my role in this life. Have I done it before? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I've gone down for it a lot before. So in this life, I'm really truly learning the value of neutrality, of oneness, of unity. Because when the delusions and the illusions are like all there, and it's just like you don't know we talked about in the beginning, the tube, the feeding through the tube. If we're just like, I don't know what's true, this is all just like, what? It's time to go to neutrality. It's like, yeah, it's like, it's there to debilitate you. And like, you need to hold your nervous system's hand at this time. We all are going to need to do that. Okay, so did I cover multidimensional? I think so. Especially with don't try to fit in. Because like the world is going to be like all fighting over everything. Let's just like lose it. We've been here long enough to like, that's just what, it's like the human way, okay? But we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. I promise you, it's like if you're like, should I go into this argument with this random stranger I'll never meet in real life? Or should I go in nature? Like, and if nature isn't an option because it's like cold or whatever, if it's have this argument with this person or do something that's gonna like bring you more into oneness, compassion, unity, truth, self-love, self-honoring, self-trust, like, is this an even... And it's not like you only have two options. You've got infinite options in every single moment and every single now and every single everything. You just forget because it's like 3D is like, there's black and white and there's right and left and there's up and down and nothing else. And you're like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna call BS on that. Sorry, not for me. Okay, next card. Any Claire tune-ins to this next card? I still feel a dragon under here. I still feel pink too. Sacred Mountain. There's definitely an animal there. Number 7, Vision Quest, Clarity and Truth, Shambhala, Deep Healing. So right now we're going to let everyone have their emotions. We're going to let everyone be the way that they are. Focus on what's going on inside in your inner realm when you feel debilitated by the outer realm. Sacred Mountain. Clarity and truth feels pertinent here. And Don, if you're still here, this Merkaba is from Tiny Rituals. Actually, let's get it in this space. Let's get a couple crystals in this space. I think that'll do. It was gifted to me So I'm very grateful for. Very grateful for anything that's ever been gifted to me. Because I am very simple. I don't really ask for anything. So acts of love without my asking are very heartwarming. Okay, so Shambhala, clarity and truth. Something's coming through for someone here about clarity and truth. Did that go in my coffee? Maybe. That's fine. So something more is needed for clarity and truth. 3. Perspective. None of this matters. This is kind of what I was just saying. None of this matters. Zoom out. Shauna's in the energy of truth big time right now. I think we're collectively coming around some truth. But we also have to zoom out and find common ground. So that this is kind of the reminder here about the clarity and truth. I see what's happening. So this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that for most of us, I mean, for all of us, a lot of the times, like what we need for the perspective shift is just to move out of our everyday experience just for a short time. Things like a small trip or a little, unplugging from your everyday reality, maybe for like a camping trip or like a solo trip or like for some of you, it's more like a Vipassana type thing where you're going to actually like meditate and like go and do something kind of like in that sense. Some of you would feel called to that. Some of you wouldn't. But basically, we really serve ourselves if we're feeling ever the words stuck or unclear or we don't trust ourselves or we're like kind of catching that we don't love ourselves in some way. Or whatever, like we're finding within ourselves. Taking that time away from our everyday life can be very clarifying because then you don't have your everyday stimuli and triggers and you can actually greet yourself and face yourself. And because sometimes our everyday triggers and like the things that make us upset and like throw us off or whatever, we think that we want to like fix those, but they're there to tell us something. And we can get so, like, when we have so many triggers stacking in one space, we can start to identify with the trigger instead of recognizing that trigger was there to tell us something about us. Not just this external thing that's happening to us. So when we take that little pause, that little respite, that time away, we begin to really see clearly. Because still, when you're in that time away, something will occur that still kind of gets you to some kind of triggered mode. But you won't have any of your old excuses like, oh, well, it's this thing I'm dealing with, or it's this person, or this restraint, or this limitation. It'll just be like, no, it's just you and you. And here's this thing, and it's going to like kind of force you to look at yourself and be real. Thank you, Cheryl. I really needed these guides' messages too today. Very clarifying. It's like we're on a mountain together. It's like we're taking a hike on a mountain together in this one. And we've needed to take stops and little sits on logs because it's been a lot. Okay. We're done with that. It started this early, so that means it's probably going to kick me off anytime. Light language. Of course. So we all felt dragons under the cards, and that's because dragons are going to do light language through me right now. They're saying we deserve the play. So if you haven't received light language before and you're not sure about it, scan your heart and see if it's something that you would want to explore. If you're already used to this and you know that it's pretty powerful, decide if it's the right time for you. Okay, because I'll probably post this part of the video on YouTube, and then the light language will be in the membership. Okay, so who wants to receive a little bit of light language as we close this today? Does anyone want to get some intentionality into activating your own? So see what kind of mode you want to go into this with. If you just want to have a little assistance to fill you up with love, or if you want to also be kind of accessing your own light language while you get filled up with love. Okay. So settle in. No driving or operating machinery. Both. You can do both. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to rub your hands together and just affirm, I am releasing all that which is not my soul for the highest and best good of all. And then you'll want to affirm within your heart, I am open to giving and receiving love. And then for those of you that would want to have your own light language be available for your own access, to assist with connection, to assist with your own self-healing, to assist with becoming more loving, more passionate, more compassionate, more unified, more coherent, more settled, more calm, then just say yes. They're showing me the DNA. They're showing me breath work for a lot of you, something to explore. They're also showing me conscious breath as often as you can, just really becoming conscious of your breath. They're also saying don't complicate light language. You're not structuring it with your mind. You're plugging into source, and then you're allowing sound, movement, frequency. Some like ego shell stuff. I don't know, it's like they're showing me broken shells in the ego. This is kind of smoothing that out. Some of you will just want to just breathe into this area and then just consciously open in this area. Just receiving right now. Just receiving right now, opening and expanding right now. Allow yourself a moment to stabilize and ground. And then just state and affirm, I am love. State and affirm, I am that I am. State and affirm, I am that I am, that I am, that I am, that I am, that I am. I need not be anything other than that which I am. I forgive myself, I love myself. I am loved. I am protected, I am divine. I am an eternal soul. One more comment and you're blocked. I am an eternal soul. Okay, now as you're landing, I just want you to envision, sense, see, hear, become aware of the roots that are extending from your body into the earth. Really pour this love that you just received down these roots. Source is eternal, is limitless, is infinite. Unga shayewo. Unta yerere. And then just pick a color, a frequency, a vibration, an affirmation, a something that feels light and right for you. Inscribe that in your aura. You can choose things like love, the infinity symbol, the Ankh. Maybe you felt an angel. Maybe you felt a specific guide that you want to have with you even when you don't know it. Just affirm that. Or you can just say, I am connected to Source eternally. I am connected to Source eternally. I am connected to Source eternally. I forgive myself for forgetting this. Oh, that's a deep one for a lot of you. Okay. I forgive myself for forgetting this. I am connected to Source eternally. I forgive myself for forgetting this. I am loved. I forgive myself for forgetting this. I am supported. I forgive myself for forgetting this. Some of you can receive abundance as a frequency right now. Some of you, your ego will want to resist it. Either way, I am abundant. I am abundant. I am free to experience this life with love. Okay, I'm closing the channel. I'm closing the Akashic Records. I'm severing some of these cords that came in that were toxic. Ere su koraksh. Ere marak. Turosuruya. Everything is being purified and filled up with love. Archangel Michael is stationing by all of you. It's very loving. I saw Archangel Michael and watching over all of us, and then he was like, he put like one of himself with each of you. It was fun. Archangel Raphael, too, I'm really feeling in the space. Archangel Uriel. No sound? Interesting. Can anyone hear me? Some can hear me and some can't. That's so interesting. It really is interesting. Wow. So take in the recording if you want to in the energy healing membership. This was a really potent healing. It did get a little distracted in the end, and just to leave a little disclaimer, if I'm fully channeling in the space, please don't get interruptery in the comments. That was really powerful light language. It felt to be from the seraphim. Some of you might have recognized that frequency, the seraphim. But that was mainly what was channeling through that I could see, sense, feel, be aware of. They're very loving, but they're also very effective. So like they go to the parts of us that we hide from the world and from ourselves, and they're like, clear it. And they're really, really helpful for that. But M, if you're still here, this is your warning, man. Or I don't know how you identify, but it could have been a lot more potent for everybody, and you kind of messed it up a little bit, and that's fine. Just don't do it again. But does anybody want to share a word of what you were feeling and what was coming through for you? For those that can hear me. Thank you, Bard. I agree. It was powerful, a little painful at times, safe and loving, peaceful, peaceful, beautiful, relaxed, intense light and healing. Yeah, Cheryl, I agree. Amazing. Feelings of remembrance, and yes, yeah, same, ICAT. Overwhelming sadness release. Wow. You felt the shifting. Me too. I felt a lot of shifting throughout the space. It was a bit of a challenge, just to be real here as I'm landing. It was a challenge to stay in my body a few times. I was like, whoa, we gotta like lower this a little bit so that I don't float off. And it's ironic too, because we were talking about out of body in the beginning. Moving your hands. So, okay, Julie mentioned something really important. Anytime you ever come to this space, because I plan on really, I'm gonna step up. I've said this before, but I really am gonna step up. My gifts are, I access them all the time for me, and like I'm ready to pour it. I am going to do private spaces to make things a little bit more safe for me, but I'm still going to keep pouring it here. I'm not going to stop. Because the intimidation and the delusions and the things and the and the botsies and the people coming and interrupt, I'm not going to let that stop me, okay? Enough of you are receiving this and actually benefiting from it to make me know this is worth it. And even if I get little snags along the way, that's okay. That's life. That's a life, baby. An energetic blip. So needed and so powerful. I'm glad this was helpful. I'm glad you could receive it. And, the thing that I was going to say that Julia reminded me of. If you ever come here and you are witnessing my language or my languages of light, or my healing, and then all of a sudden your hands are going and you're just doing light language, and I'm talking and chatting and you're sitting there doing light language, please bring it on in. That's very natural. That's something that will happen with people when they visit my space. It's also something that happens with me when I visit other healers. I often drop into a full-blown light language. So yeah, omnipresence. Yes, so thank you, Mark. So I go live on at 9 a.m. on Fridays. If that changes, I will let you know. But otherwise, a lot of hand movement. Yeah. So I welcome that here. And dancing, yes. Some of the times I'm like, my ego's kind of like, no, they're not allowed to stand up and dance. But, I want you to be safe no matter what. So I want you to all be very safe, because sometimes it's like you don't expect it, and all of a sudden the guides come through with some like wave of really high frequency, almost like sedative energy. And it's like, wow. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. And if you want to get the replays, they're all in my energy healing membership for $11 a month. First week free. So if you're like not sure, but you want to sample the sauce, oh, I'll be right back. Oh, I'll be right back. I'm back briefly. I just didn't want to leave it hanging like that because we still haven't done our thing that we do at the end of every session, which is take a deep breath. So we still have 39 of you, I think. It's acting a little glitchy now. Okay, so we still are here. We're going to take a deep breath. Some of you also might be wondering, because some of you came on at 9 and you were like, she seems already into this. And that's because I started at like 8:40. I started early because everything was just kind of coming through me, and I just did. I don't know. When I upgrade to the $33 a month, do I still get access to everything else? So the $33 a month is the Lightworker Toolkit. That's its own membership. The Energy Healing membership is $11 a month. That's its own membership. My self-healing course is like a standalone. That one's pretty powerful for people. I am soon gonna, this is like a new announcement, but I am soon gonna close down my activation portal for Space Library. 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So an hour before you if you're Eastern. It would be, if you're, it would be your 8. Is that right? Oh man, I'm really not good at doing time adaptations right now. But, okay, wait, did I say everything I had to say? Oh, no, there's one more thing. I will be starting a consistent membership of Zoom Lives. So I was doing maybe not the best time for announcements. I was doing like workshops, standalone workshops. That will change. That will turn into its own membership of lives. I believe I'm going to be calling it Akashic. I'm not sure yet on the second word. Maybe Akashic Keys. But stay tuned because I need to get it right. I want to get the foundation right before I launch it. So I haven't launched it yet. The only things I have right now are the Energy Healing membership, Lightworker Toolkit, Self-Healing. I also have Master Your Energy. I've got a book. Oh, I've got a book on Amazon, Space Library, Brie Marie. That's $22. But I do have lots of like ways into my offerings that are not breaking the bank. If you want to work with me one-to-one, do be prepared. I need to say this. Do be prepared. Because, again, it's like I'm not here to serve your ego. I really am here to serve your soul. And so I will be very, like, it's those sessions are very, what I'll say is they're kind of quantum shifters. So it's like your life will probably be different. I don't think I'm doing my services any favors right now. So I'm just going to land and get grounded and do the wise thing. And let me know if there's any questions. The new membership, I haven't picked a price point yet, Karina. Because, like, my gut is telling me 44 and my heart is telling me 111 because it's so much service and it does do a number on me. After I do a group session, like especially via Zoom, I need like 2 or 3 days to recover. I'm like feeling a whole bunch of sensation in my body and it's a little bit hard to ground and stabilize. So I need to make sure that what I'm doing is something that is going to motivate me to stay with it the long term, you know? Okay, let's take a deep breath. Deep breath in. Hold. Hold. And release. sealing this in unconditional love, and a reminder to hydrate. It's really important with these transmissions. All right, namaste.